Adam the Bull, and today we got a lot to get to. We got a wild stat about Jim Schwartz against rookie quarterbacks. Jason?
I'm Jason Lloyd. Deshaun Watson trending toward playing on Sunday. Is that a surprise? We're going to talk about it. G.
I'm G. Bush, leader of the Kool-Aid Mafia, and I will tell you that there might be a Cedric Tillman sighting today or on Sunday. Let's go, McNuggets.
And I'm Mikey McNuggets, and I'm going to tell you, it's really hard to put together a rundown for a YouTube show and a TV show when you don't know who's going to play quarterback for either team until 3 minutes before you go on air. So thank you, Browns, for making it look a little clearer.
In the 3 minutes between the end of our YouTube show, guys, and the beginning of our WKYC show with the fine folks here, we blew up our entire plan for what will take them behind the scenes was the A block. Ooh, that's very fancy, schmancy. We've blown up the A block because we got word just in the last half hour, guys, that nothing official, but Deshaun Watson taking all the first team reps, and it seems, Jason, that he is trending toward playing this Sunday.
I don't agree with it. I think it's a bad call. I'd give him another week of rest. It may not make that much of a difference, but it certainly can't hurt. And the Browns should be able to beat the Cardinals with either P.J. Walker or Deshaun Watson at quarterback. I'd give him the extra week of rest and bring him back for Baltimore-Pittsburgh, which really is going to go a long way in determining this division.
Well, listen, I look at this situation with Deshaun Watson, and I'm looking at it like, hey, look, bro, if you come back and you want to mess around, he could be hurt again. And if he does come back and he does get hurt, I think the Cleveland Browns need to put him on a 4-game IR. I think the team deserves to know who's going to be at quarterback. I think they also can't afford to pull P.J. Walker back out of that mix. And I think they got to put a veteran if Deshaun Watson can't get through this game. I think if he is going to play, I think everybody's best case scenario is Deshaun Watson plays in the game, he hands the ball off a lot, he may get a couple yards, maybe a touchdown, but the goal is to make sure that he comes out of this game unscathed and does not have any setbacks in his shoulder. So I think that's what we should be all hoping and praying for in terms of expecting from Deshaun Watson, Bull.
Guys, I am very excited about this. That my excitement level for this game has just gone up. Now, am I overly confident that Deshaun Watson is going to make it through the game, let alone play at a high level? No, I'm not overly confident. But the fact that he's playing gives me a chance that that could happen. And I think, listen, it's hard to trust the Browns on this situation because the way it's been handled, at least publicly, from day one when he got hurt against the Titans has been pretty bad. However, I'm going to go under the assumption, you know what happens when you assume, it could be bad sometimes. But I'm going to choose to go under the assumption that the Browns medical staff and Deshaun Watson have decided that, hey, listen, his shoulder's as good as it's going to be this year. It's not perfect, but it's not going to be perfect until after the season. It's not going to get any better if he rests 1 or 2 more weeks. We either have to play him at some point or not. If he feels confident in playing and the team feels, hey, yeah, it could get worse, but it also can get worse if he plays next week or the week after. At this point, what's the point of waiting? If it goes badly, at least it happens with Arizona where you can recover from that by going to P.J. Walker or DTR or whatever the heck you want to do. And it gives you time. Because think about it this way. If you wait till next week when they're playing Baltimore, guys, and Deshaun Watson goes out like he did in Indy, 5 plays in, and it's a disaster. Well, now you're throwing in P.J. Walker into a game where he wasn't preparing all week. That's a negative, a big negative. Against Baltimore, that's probably a disaster. It probably means you're going to lose the game. Against Arizona, it's something you could bounce back from. They can still win the game with P.J. Walker coming in with very little practice because they're just so much better overall than the Cardinals. And then you know, all right, we got to basically rule out Watson the rest of the way. We can't keep doing this. We are preparing full steam ahead for P.J. Walker. That's why, to me, I like this, guys, and I'm excited.
Well, you know, Jason, you look at it, one of the things I think that might be spurring this on is the fact that you look at a guy like Deshaun Watson who has not had that many reps. One of the problems we came in, he was suspended 11 games last year. He had the 6 games. He did not play that much in the preseason. You get to the regular season, you've only seen one really solid game for Deshaun Watson where you say, hey, okay, that's what we paid for. So now he's had another 6 weeks off, basically. So now we can't expect him to come in and throwing strikes and darts now, can we? So I think they wanted to get him out there against the Cardinals and work off a little bit of the rust before you do get to a Ravens and a Pittsburgh game that may judge whether or not you're going to be going to the playoffs.
We'll see. I still think it's a mistake, but, we talked to Tim Couch during the YouTube show, and I asked him, whose call is this ultimately? And he said it's basically going to come down to Deshaun and the medical team. Yeah. Medical's already cleared him, though. It's up to when Deshaun feels ready to play. So clearly Deshaun's told him this week, from the looks of things at least, Deshaun's told him, I'm ready to go again, and now I guess we'll roll him out Sunday and see what it looks like.
True or not, when Deshaun last spoke, he said, hey, I got to listen to the medical people.
Right.
I got to listen to my body. I came back too soon a couple of weeks ago. I mean, if he's honest about that, then maybe it's, he kind of made it seem like he knew he wasn't ready for Indianapolis.
I mean, is he ready now, though? Is he honest now, today? Like, what?
I don't know. Maybe he's just saying all the right things and he's going to go out there and be a disaster. I mean, it is bad if the same thing happens that happened 2 weeks ago. The team is going to look really bad. Again, I would just rather that happen this week against Arizona than next week against Baltimore.
It very well, what's to say it doesn't happen next week against Baltimore if
Even
it doesn't
if he plays.
happen?
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is a specter that will be hanging over the Browns and fans' heads the rest of the season. It's not like he's going to be 100% at any point. I think he's really going to have to deal with the fact that he could get hit, he could fall, he could throw the ball, and his shoulder could be re-injured. So you got to take that risk a little bit, but the Browns are too good not to go into this season and the rest of the season not going for it all.
I don't think any of us are expecting Deshaun Watson to be at his best. At this point, I don't even know what his best is anymore. However, as bad as he played last year, I mean, off the top of my head, I would say all of his performances last year, were any of them any worse than P.J. Walker's played in these 3 games?
Houston last year, his first game back was...
Okay, so but 5
Throw
of the,
that one
but 5 of the 6 last year...
But if
we're not. That was a P.J. Walker level start, fair. But the rest, and that was his first game, obviously, in almost 2 years.
Right.
But the rest of them were all better than, like, a diminished Deshaun Watson is still probably better than P.J. Walker.
At least
if he can throw the football.
If he can throw the football, yeah.
Especially from a decision standpoint. I mean, you think about one touchdown, and P.J. Walker had 5-6 turnovers. But he could have had more turnovers than that. It could have been easy more turnovers. The guys dropped the interception or he got lucky in different places where guys dropped picks. But, I look at it like this. I will give you this. This game is much more entertaining on paper right now.
Yeah.
I had the straight face. I was not drinking the Kool-Aid at all. But one thing Deshaun Watson always brings to the table, he does bring that cachet, that star power. So now I'm interested in seeing, can he bounce back and get the Browns back on track offensively?
Is there part of you that wants Kyler Murray to play too? Just because it makes it a more interesting game? Or,
sure.
Or no, because the Browns have a better chance of winning if he doesn't play?
I want to see him. Jason said it earlier. If you thought Deshaun Watson was rusty after him coming off from the Houston Texans, Kyler Murray coming off of ACL with no preseason, no training camp, no nothing. Yeah. He might throw you 2 or 3 interceptions and get a couple sacks. I like that.
Yeah, I was thinking like earlier in the week I saw that Josh Allen wasn't practicing against they're playing the Bengals this week, and I'm like, well, I want Josh Allen to play. Maybe we're crazy. We're probably the minority because I think a lot of fans are like, well, I don't want a good player to play. I like when the good players play each other.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray versus Deshaun Watson is a lot more exciting than P.J. Walker against Clayton Tune. Right? I mean, that's a lot more fun. But I don't know. I mean, listen, the Browns in this game and really the whole season are going to be playing with fire every time Deshaun Watson is on the field. And that's why it still remains a little surprising that they haven't brought in another veteran quarterback.
Well,
do we think that ship has sailed completely? Do we think there's any chance
No.
if they're going to bring in a free agent?
No.
None. Even if Watson,
already.
What if Watson's out for the year?
I mean, if he suffers another injury and he's out for the year,
yeah,
I guess you have to then look at it, in which case the organization's open for criticism because they had plenty of other opportunities
Yeah.
to upgrade that spot, knowing they were vulnerable there. They had exposure there,
Yeah.
and they didn't do anything to address it.
Yeah, I mean, you got DTR back. I would expect him to go back to DTR if Deshaun Watson was long-term put on the IR and wasn't able to play the rest of this year. Because at least I think DTR has a higher ceiling than P.J. Walker. He's a little more athletic than P.J. Walker. And you named him, you saw enough of him to say he's our backup. So at some point...
Well, P.J. Walker's ceiling is
Yeah,
touching his
I don't
head
know
right
that
now.
we know DTR has a higher ceiling. We haven't seen anything, but we know P.J. Walker's ceiling is about where the floor is. It is what it is.
He's gotta
You're
lay
walking
down,
like this.
He,
You're walking like
he
this.
got the drop ceiling. You know, the ceiling that come down, it's a crawl space. It ain't the attic. You just crawl around up there.
Yeah, well, the good news is we didn't know when the YouTube show started today at 11 o'clock who was going to start. We still don't know for sure at 12:41 and change. What we do know is that it is trending in the direction of Deshaun Watson being the starter this week. Obviously, stick with us, folks. If you don't know, we do shorts on YouTube, and if there's breaking news, when there was trades, when Donovan Peoples-Jones got traded, Mikey threw up a short. When the Browns didn't trade for quarterback, I threw up a short on YouTube. We're constantly hitting you with stuff, so make sure you're subscribed to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Coming